mixing this epoxy up. And it's a lot of bubbles. I don't know if you can see, but I got a lot of bubbles in there because I've been mixing fast. And I moved the camera up some closer this way. So the reason why I'm tapping it is because if you tap it and let it sit for a few seconds, the majority of the bubbles will rise to the top and pop on their own. The bigger bubbles will rise to the top and they'll pop on their own. So you're still left with like 1,000 little ones, but I just want to make sure this is like crystal clear. Okay. What I like to do first is the ashtray. And I just pour enough of epoxy. Oh, you know what? This is the one with glitter. Let me do this regular set. It's almost messed up. I'm doing the green set first. Just enough to cover the image. Same thing with the lid, just enough to cover the image. And since I'm about to do the tray next, I'm gonna go ahead and blast those bubbles out. Okay, so they got rid of the bubbles. And see on my lid, it's not like a smooth surface. There's like a little ridge around. If my spray paint was perfect, I probably would have just left it just in that center. But because my spray paint is a little wishy-washy, once I finish the tray, I'm gonna go in with my finger and just kind of smooth it along the sides. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and get the tray sealed. I'm gonna move this out the way because this one is ready. It still has a few of those little foamy looking bubbles, so I'm gonna go back in again. And do the same on the tray just to get rid of the bubbles. And then we'll start working. And what this heat does is the heat gets the epoxy to kind of start moving around for me. So for my tray, see how fast it's moving around? Oh, see? You got to be careful. Is my silicone brush in here? I do not like to get my hands dirty. I know it's all a part of crafting, but I do not like to get my hands dirty. And that epoxy that wasted, I'm just gonna wipe it so it doesn't get on the bottom of the tray. Now this guy on this picture is smoking. I was thinking about adding a little bit of white alcohol ink to kind of give it a smoke effect. So that's done. Let me sit that out the way. Trying to think my silicone brush is in here. That's what I prefer to use to spread it on the sides instead of my finger. I found it. So I'm gonna just rub it and dab it. Oh, it's hot. Can you cut that ceiling fan up some? Like, put it on high. And with the silicone brush, you just lift it up, slide the epoxy up to where it's almost on the rim, and then I just kind of take the brush and work it into those little nooks and crannies. The silicone, anything that's silicone, your epoxy is gonna peel right off of once it's dry. But since I have a whole nother set to do, I did not want to get my gloves dirty just yet. So what I'm doing here, again, I'm just making sure I have the entire tray covered with the epoxy to make sure that when it dries, you don't see any of those little spots where you didn't hit it with epoxy. So just take your time, make sure you're spreading it out evenly and that you're getting it into those little grooves around the rim of the tray. I'm just dragging the epoxy around the tray. It is self-leveling, but I'm just making sure I get in the corners because unfortunately you can't really see if you missed a spot until it dries. So to prevent that, I just like to kind of move it around and make sure that I touch every inch of the tray with some epoxy. So it's all covered, all around the rim, all around the edges. Just kind of like move around a little bit to see, make sure I didn't miss any spots. I don't want any drippings or nothing. See a little spot in there. Okay. I'm gonna go in with my Pinata brand white alcohol ink. Shake it real good. I'm just gonna put a few drops just to kind of make that, add some flavor to it, to that smoke effect. Can't even open it. Can you bring me those 4 bottles of epoxy out my sink? Okay. And I'm gonna take this other thing. You can just put them right there on the floor. All I put was one little drop in here. Just kind of give it a little flavor. Let's see. Just to enhance the smoke a little bit. Now I'm gonna get rid of my bubbles. And take a little bit off the tray, put it on this. Dab a little bit more on my finger. And just kind of spin it. Okay. Now that's it, it's done. All it's left for it to do is to dry. I'm gonna leave it alone before I mess it up because I really want to play with this alcohol ink a little more, but I don't want to mess it up. Slide you over. Make sure I don't have any epoxy dripping. So I'm going to set this tray in. And this one. And the ashtray's already over there. Okay. So we got just a little epoxy left in there. Beat in. I just couldn't leave that tray alone. That smoke effect was bothering me. Take 4. Keep getting these phone calls. Don't nobody want nothing. Don't nobody never call me. I got a hotline today. All right. So I'm going to try to get a little bit more part A out of here, and then we'll be ready to mix these together. Even. Just in up here. Throw it way over there. Okay. I got my glitter. I like to mix it up first. Make sure it gets a good clear layer, and then add the glitter. Now, remember I said that this will be dripping, so I'll take my stick And I just grab those little drippets off. But if it dries with those on, you can always sand them. You can always sand it down. And you know, when you first start to mix it, it's real cloudy and yucky looking. So before I add anything to it, I like to wait till it's just turning clear. This one gonna have glitter in it, so I still like to get the bubbles out, but it's not that major. And it's turning clear. Scrape the sides, you scrape the bottom. And I got this glitter from Walmart. It's extra fun. It's almost gone. I'm just gonna do, because you still want to be able to see the design, but you do want it to have that glitter effect. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit. And then if I need to add more, I will. Oh, Lord. I knocked everything, y'all. So now I'm just going to mix the glitter in. And this is exactly what I want it to look like. You can see the glitter, but you can still see through the epoxy. Now, if you wanted this to be just completely opaque or, you know, not see-through at all, you can add more. But for this set, I'm only doing a little bit. So you can see the glitter. I'm gonna stick a little bit. Take my little thing here, see another little drop. I'll just go around the whole thing just to make sure. So you can see, just a little bit like glitter. So again, pour a little bit in the ashtray. All right, then the lid. side of the button, y'all. So I pour some on the jar lid, pour some in the ashtray, and now I'm gonna go in on the tray. I have epoxy in there though. I like to keep all my trash in one little spot. Take my spatula, my spatula, but take my silicone brush, and I'm just gonna, again, spread it around. And so, well, it looks so pretty. Y'all know I love glitter. Well, y'all don't know, but I mean, I love glitter. Tap, 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 in. Tap it in. Tap in. Tap, tap, tap in. That's all stuck in my head. I've been singing it in my head this whole time, but I don't want to sing it out loud. I got my window open a little bit because it's cold outside. I got my ceiling fan on and I have my heater going. I'm about to get out of here soon as I finish this tray. And depending on what time it is, I would say about 8 hours or so, they should be done. I'm just getting all around the edges. That glitter is so pretty, pretty, pretty. All right. Just making sure I get the corners now. And that's it. 2 tray sets. So this is what the jar is looking like. Ashtray, I don't know. Well, I might do this ashtray over y'all, but you know, it's pretty, but it's not high. I like quality. And the tray, see there? Yes, I love glitter. And now all these little drippings I'll get off. But I am gonna take the epoxy and rub it down the sides of the I'm gonna rub it down the sides of the jar lid because I want the glitter on that part too. But that's it. That's how I make my trays. And now that I'm done with these gloves, I can use my finger for this part. Look on my skin. Since that happened, I'm about to go get in the shower, y'all. Do not play about that epoxy on me or on anything else. I'm gonna finish rubbing this down the sides. Make sure I didn't miss any part. And I'm about to go wash this epoxy off of me. So that's it. Once they dry, I'll post a picture. I'll take a picture of them. But this is pretty much it. I didn't go in with my heat gun, just in case there's any bubbles.